You ever just wake up in a second location and find out someone's changed your clothes? Before we get to today's video, I want to take a moment to talk about Patreon. That's right, we are on Patreon now, and we have a bunch of tiers with a bunch of great rewards. You can subscribe and get things like early access to all reactions, depending on your tier, depends on which reactions you get early access to. You can vote on polls exclusive to patrons that will help determine future reaction series and more. You will get to just have various choices in terms of like getting to choose future reactions I react to, getting to choose first impressions I check out, all kinds of different rewards, and possibly more coming in the future. We're still new at this. We're still figuring things out. It's a process. It's a process. But we have multiple tiers, so whatever you would be able to donate, if you're able and willing to donate, is appreciated. It helps me out. It helps the channel out. It helps us grow. It's going to help just, standardly. It's just something new to check out. Plus, if you like getting the reactions early, that's also a plus. But it is optional. If you're unable to do it, that's completely fine. All reactions will come to YouTube just a little bit later, a week later or so. So, that all being said, thank you as always so much, and let's get on with today's video. And with that being said, hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with my blind reaction to Season 2, Episode 2 of One Piece, also known as Episode 1157. We are here with the second episode of the Elbaf arc. And last time, we mostly just got back into things. The biggest thing that happened was with Barto disrespecting the flag of the red-haired pirates, and his ship getting destroyed. The Bardo Club ship was destroyed, but it's very unlikely that the crew died. In fact, I'd say it's almost 100% guaranteed that they are gonna be alive and return in the future. This is just another one of those cases, like with Kid, like with Law, where Oda's trying to, concern us. It's like, oh, we're reaching the end game, we're having the emperors make their big moves, and so we're showing all of these other smaller crews getting quote-unquote demolished because it's trying to give us some tension. But we know it's false tension, because Kid, Law, Bardo, all of these crews are going to be fine. They're going to be absolutely fine. They're going to return, and they're going to align with Luffy, I'm sure. We have this big war set up for the future that's going to be even bigger than Marineford, and we know that's where things are going to get really crazy, where all of these crews are going to come into play. All of these forces that we've seen throughout the Grand Line and the New World are all going to really just finally make their final moves toward the One Piece. And I think this is where everything's going to really come to a head. But for now, we're just kind of being left with a little bit of that tension. And that's pretty normal. I feel like a lot of shows would do this kind of thing. And it's even when you know the character's going to be fine, it's the show, it tries to build that for you. And for a split second, maybe you're thinking, oh, maybe there will be some kind of actual consequences. Hey, why not? Wano killed off a bunch of characters. Why can't this arc? It's not going to kill off the characters in this manner. Bardo's not going to die like that. That's the thing. If Bardo did die, it would be sacrificing himself for Luffy, which this doesn't really count as. Oda's not going to kill off Bardo like that, especially because he knows how popular Bardo is. In fact, that's clearly why this was done. But on top of that, through an entire night and probably day before of partying, The giants awaken, and those who are on the Great Eric, the giant pirate's ship, awaken to find that the Sunny has gone missing. And all of the Straw Hats that were still traveling on the Sunny have gone missing with it. We end up seeing Nami awaken, having her clothes completely changed against her will, and probably not really greatly. Her new outfit doesn't hide a lot, so there's a little bit of a questionable aspect to someone else having changed her clothes for her, no matter who it is, unless it's Robin. And we Nami knows she can trust Robin in that regard. So, but I don't think it's Robin. Was Robin on the Eric? No, I'm trying to remember who's still on the Eric. I know Brooke and Frankie are. I don't remember if Robin was. But either way. No, because I think Robin was, like, shown with Nami in them. Like, Chopper was there and everything. Luffy. Yeah, so maybe they're still, Sanji and Zoro. Maybe they're all together, and it's just a couple of the other ones who aren't. I don't know. We'll have to see. But either way, I'm very curious to find out, like, if they are in Elbaf, because that's kind of my theory, that they, like, somehow got a fast pass to Elbaf ahead of everyone else. I'm very curious to see where all of that ends up going, how it connects to certain other aspects and elements, and what that's going to mean. Plus, like, where is Nami? Nami seems almost separated from everyone else. We did hear Usopp's voice, but it looked like kind of like a Lego house or something like that. And the only thing that makes me think of, if we're in Elbaf, is she in like basically the equivalent of a dollhouse for like one of the kids? I guess that's possible. We did see when we were like seeing Shanks before, we did see one of the giant children that he was friends with. I don't remember his name, but we did see him, and he'll more than likely be in this arc. I would be really fucking surprised if he wasn't. But yeah, I don't know what to expect. Like I said last time, though, there are some things that I know about. I know about a lot of character designs, but most of what I know about is out of context because, you know, I was spoiled because of people on Twitter and stuff not knowing how to keep away spoilers. Especially the people who, even before a chapter is released, will start spoiling shit because of leaks. Which, these leaks should not be happening, first of all. But even if you see the leaks, you shouldn't be spoiling it for other people. Have some decorum. But, you know, the One Piece fandom is absolute dog shit with that, so it's really terrible, and it's one of the worst aspects of the fandom by far. Another one is the people who excuse Sanji's bullshit, but, you know, not going to get into that right now. Either way, I'm just hoping that this continues to be good. I've heard a lot of good things, like just non-spoiler wise. I've heard a lot of good things about this arc. A lot of people are really hyped over it. So I'm hoping that it ends up living up to kind of those expectations. With One Piece, it's kind of up in the air. It could be like amazing. It could be just good. Or it could end up being one of those rare arcs that I just can't get into. It happens on a really rare occasion. There's a couple arcs that I'm not as into. But we'll see. We'll see. I expect I'll love it. I expect so. But I'd say we just get into this and find out. And by the way, sorry if the lighting gets darker at any point. It's like really overcast outside. It's supposed to be like very rainy this week, but also very warm. It's like 70s, but also a lot of rain, and it's like, ugh, hate it. Just hate it on principle. But yeah, so I might have to turn on an extra light filter for OBS. Just letting you know ahead of time. For those of you watching on YouTube and are seeing these pre-thoughts, but I say let's just get into it though and see what we have in store. Hold up just a sec. Before you click that link down in the description below to get to today's video, I want to remind you of all the awesome content we have both on this channel and the Princess of Gaming channel. Let's check it out. Welcome to the Afterthoughts. We'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, this episode, was another, very kind of introductory episode to things. I feel like it's pretty clear. It's clear enough that we're on Elbaf. And I think we're in, a children's play set or something. I have to assume that's the case. There's, you know how some play sets for kids, will have, entire setups, an entire town or whatnot. It's not just, one little dollhouse or whatever. But it's, an entire situation. It'll be, an entire set. And it's, I grew up, not exactly being, or coming from the wealthiest family, so I didn't usually have that, but I had friends at a couple points who had, the bigger play sets that were, again, whole ass things. And also with stuff like Legos, which these blocks seem to be similar to, either Legos or Duplex or whatever. It's you can make full on towns and stuff out of them if you just have enough blocks. And even the trees were fake, so I'm wondering if the tree in the middle is fake too. Now, we did see some other citizens. I'm wondering if those are regular people instead of just giants then. Are they just, regular humans living in this this block kingdom as well? Is it something akin to that? I don't know. We don't really have the context right now. But we see at least a large portion of our crew getting back together here. Starts with Nami, then Usopp, and then the rest of them come in with Luffy, Zoro, Sanji. We're still missing quite a few. But the fact that we got, the monster trio all together means that we're definitely going to be safe. And I'm just curious as to what else we're going to get here. Because I feel like the rest of the crew, Chopper, Robin, and the ones who are on the Great Eric, I don't think they're going to come across anything major, and I feel like we're going to have to reunite with them before any notable, truly notable moments happen. But I'm very curious as to what's going to happen with a lot of this. It's gonna be very interesting. Because this episode didn't give us much to work off of. It was just, our crew taking on, a hedgehog and a cat that could turn into a lion, probably because of a devil fruit. It's really, there wasn't much happening, all things considered. It was still just the introductory portion of this. Now, I think I talked about this briefly last time, but it was stated that this arc is going, and that, just going forward, it's going to be, one chapter per episode for the most part, with maybe some exceptions here or there. So I've already expressed my general dissatisfaction and concern over the pacing changes that technically they started to introduce in the last arc, which I already noted that the last arc was extremely rushed. But I'm really worried that the one chapter per episode thing is also going to cause problems with pacing. Right now it's fine because nothing much has happened, and I think I'm okay with that. Like the first two episodes of the arc, like having not really much of anything occur outside of just kind of introducing us to like the new outfits and this block kingdom and everything. I think that's a smart way to handle. We didn't even get anything involving the Great Eric or the Straw Hats and Bonnie and Lilith, who are still there. We only focused on Nami, Usopp, Zoro, Sanji, and Luffy here. It was very focused as an episode, and I don't know. I'm very curious to see how the pacing continues because that is my biggest worry. That is absolutely my biggest worry because the pacing for most of this series has been fantastic. And I'm still very concerned, again, with this entire one chapter for each episode kind of thing. I'm really worried. So, I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see how it goes and hope for the best. Um, we did get like this big like scream or like yell from someone. And we did have like one of those people from before like talking about like informing or whatnot the sun god, which it seems like from what our characters are saying, they haven't come in contact with any people yet. So they're not talking about Luffy. Who are they talking about then? Because Luffy, with the Hito Hito no Mi model Nika, is the reincarnation of Nika, the sun god. Do they have a fake sun god? Do they have someone claiming to be the sun god? Maybe like a king or something? I don't know. Because again, I'm kind of getting the vibe like maybe there could be like multiple kingdoms in Elbaf. Elbaf is the island, right? I don't think Elbaf is like a kingdom specifically, but I might be wrong. It might be both. Maybe there's just someone who's just pretending either way. Because that part's throwing me off a bit. Now, the opening, again, like I said, I'll have to see the opening multiple more times before I can really judge exactly what I feel about it. It's good. I can say that much confidently. It's better than stuff like The Peak, where it's like half the opening is just nothing. like literally just a circle on a screen with some barely like viewable clips being shown in the background. And it's just like it's better than that. But it's also, like I said, a lot softer than I was expecting. I was kind of expecting like this like battle song. Like you would expect something like you hear in the live action. In season 2 of the live action for One Piece, there was this original song created called "Pray to the Sun," and it was an Elbaf song for Dory and Broggy on Little Garden, and it like was this like almost like Mongolian throat singing kind of style song, this like epic battle song. And it was really cool. It was like exactly what you would expect for music for Elbaf. And so the song here is like, more of like a standard anime opening theme song. I don't know who sings it though. I don't think I saw like the name of the artist, but it's one of those songs that's like it's good. I liked it. I like the vibe, and again, it had kind of like this almost like we made it kind of vibe to it, which is very fitting.
But I'm definitely going to have to see it again before I can rank it. I don't think it's one of my top tier openings for this series. Like, Egghead had some amazing openings, and this is not on that level. But it's only the first opening for Elbaf, too. I assume we're going to get a different opening each core we have for this, because how this is working, we have a core for the spring season of anime, then there's not going to be one piece during the summer season, and then we're having another core for the fall season, and I assume it's going to be the same every year going forward. Because how they've basically described it with moving towards this seasonal schedule is that there's going to be one season a year, and that it's going to be split into two cores that have a break in between them. So we're in season 2, part 1, basically. But when the fall season hits, that's going to be season 2, part 2. Season 3 doesn't start until 2027. That's how it's working. And so it's kind of like how with One Punch Man Season 3, I know, a wild comparison, but how One Punch Man Season 3, what we got so far has been confirmed to only be part 1 of Season 3, and part 2 of Season 3 is coming sometime in the future. We don't know exactly when yet. But they're both Season 3. And other shows have done this too. Attack on Titan did a lot of that with like having multiple released parts for the seasons. Dr. Stone, I believe, did this. It's becoming more and more common, and it's one of those weird things. It's like, why not just have them be different seasons? There's really no reason not to. It's like they can be different seasons. You don't have to have them be the same season just with a split core. But at least with this, it's going to be like, oh, there's just one season in between, and then we're going to come back with the other half of the season. You know what I mean? It's like there's 3 months where there's not going to be any more One Piece after the spring season ends, and then we're coming back in October. So it's not as big of a deal as like waiting a year or two for the next part of the season. So yeah, I'm enjoying what we're getting so far, but we're not getting much. There's not even a lot to talk about. I guess I can talk about the outfits real quick. Like I said in the reaction, I have seen all of the crew's new outfits already. This is something that I was spoiled on because it's just kind of, with how One Piece fans are, it's just kind of impossible to not have been spoiled on this. And if I were to give my thoughts just on the characters who have appeared in the actual episode so far, not counting the opening, which does show all of them, but just of these 5 characters here, I think my favorite outfit is Nami's, and not just because, oh, it's sexy and shows off a bunch of cleavage and honestly hides very little skin in general. I like the, like, colors of it. I like the, like, golden fur that she has on it, the headdress adornments with it. Like, Luffy's is very Luffy. You know what I mean? It's very much just like big-ass helmet with big-ass horns. You have to have the red in there, so his fur is red. Has the big belt, and it's like, that's just very Luffy. It's just over the top big. Zoro's is pretty cool. The goggles feel like an odd touch. That feels more like an Usopp thing. But again, with Zoro's, it's very green. It's like the colors are definitely there. I feel like the furs on the furry cape that Zoro is wearing is, I don't know, I just feel like it's a bit much for him. I'm not quite sold on that, on Zoro having that. I kind of wish he didn't have a cape, compared to the others. Sanji's is probably my second favorite. Like, I made the joke in the reaction. It's like, oh, of course he has knight armor. Because, yeah, you get the joke behind that. But I actually like the color work. I like that it's blue. Because I don't associate Sanji with blue. And it feels very different. It feels very unique. And the armor actually looks really good. The fur the furry cape works with the armor really well. I actually really like Sanji's Elbaf design here. I think it's a good design. And then Usopp. Usopp's is, again, very Usopp. Like, Usopp and Luffy have kind of the same silly, kind of childlike style to them. Which is funny because neither of them chose these outfits, they were put into them. But Usopp also has a big ass helmet with the big ass horns, just a different style. The beard is a fun touch because Usopp wore a fake beard in Wano, so it's not the first time he's done that. And then he has like the big ass colorful red and blue suspenders, which feels very Usopp because obviously Usopp has worn suspenders plenty of times. It's a classic Usopp look. So yeah, it feels very Usopp. I think Zoro's is actually weirdly enough my least favorite. Because again, the cape I'm not a huge fan of. I also do not like the furry leg warmers. Why does he have furry leg warmers? That feels so weird. That would make more sense for Sanji. Like aesthetically. That would the like big furry leg warmers like might, you would argue, hinder his kicking and everything. But I also feel like they could almost make a joke out of that. It just doesn't work for Zoro. It looks so out of place. Also, I'm not a huge fan of Zoro's pants being mustard colored. It's like, why are they mustard colored? Just why? Luffy's shorts being black and having like fur around the belt area is pretty good. And Sanji having like these almost legging armor above the boots, this like light blue legging armor that matches his gloves above the actual boots. I actually really like that. Again, yeah, Zoro's is definitely my least favorite of this group of the crew. Again, not accounting for the rest of the crew that hasn't been shown in the actual episode yet. I'll analyze those a lot more once we get the really good looks at them. Maybe next episode, maybe in a couple episodes, whenever it happens. But for the time being, thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know your thoughts down below. And as always, no spoilers. Because again, I do know some stuff, but it's mostly out of context. And I don't want to have context. So just don't spoil. And don't spoil for anyone else who might be checking out the comments and watching these videos too. So, yeah. No spoilers. But that all being said, once again, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.